You are listening to Housekeepers Chat by the United States Department of Agriculture from 1927. Disclaimer: this is read from a historic archive document. Do not assume content reflects current scientific knowledge, policies, or practices. Today's broadcast was aired on Tuesday, the 24th of May, in 1927.
Fine points on jelly making is the subject of today's chat. Also a menu and something new in recipes from the United States Bureau of Home Economics.
Something tells me that it is time to discuss the fine points in making jelly. For surely there is no housewife in the land who is not interested in having a shelf of clear, sparkling, quivering jelly to serve with hot biscuits and butter, with waffles and pancakes, with meats and with omelets, with cakes and little cookies and jelly roll, and as a garnish for fancy desserts. And please, if you have boys and girls in high school or college, don't forget to make a few special glasses of jelly for them. Use dainty little glasses for the girls and good substantial ones for the boys. One thing about my school days that still lingers is the memory of the homemade jelly my mother used to send in my laundry box. I was interested, of course, in clean blouses and skirts, but I always searched for the jelly before I unfolded the clothes. And like as not, someone will be reminding you before long that there are only 215 shopping days until Christmas. I don't want to rush the season, but I do think a few glasses of currant or raspberry or blackberry jelly would be greatly appreciated as a gift. Now let's gather around, you expert jelly makers, and talk about making jelly. When you make jelly, how do you judge whether or not it is a success? Don't you consider flavor and texture the chief points? Of course, the color and the sparkling clearness are also important. But color and sparkle do not count for so much, in the opinion of expert jelly makers, as the delicious, fresh, fruity flavor by which one can tell raspberry from currant jelly with the eyes shut, and the tender, quivering texture that the very word jelly calls to mind. As with most everything else, there is a right way and a wrong way to make jelly. The wrong way I won't even mention because it results in weak, watery, flavorless, colorless products that no expert housewife wants on her table. But the right way of making jelly results in a clear, sparkling, quivering, tasty fruit product that never lasts long enough. Let's confine our talk today to directions for making jelly from raspberries, blackberries, currants, and other summer fruits. The first rule is to use, if possible, a half and half mixture of underripe and ripe fruit. The underripe gives the best texture and the overripe the best flavor. Therefore, such a combination is just what we want. In other words, it's ideal. If you must use fruit which is overripe, add a little lemon juice to the fruit juice just before it is combined with the sugar. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice to each cup of fruit juice is the correct proportion. The lemon juice improves the flavor, the texture, and the clearness, particularly of blackberry jelly. Wash the fruit thoroughly, but do not let it soak, and be careful not to break the tender skin. Make jelly from 6 to 8 pounds of prepared fruit at a time. This quantity is easy to handle and can be cooked quickly. The long cooking, necessary for large quantities, tends to destroy the fresh fruit flavor and the brilliant color. Crush some of the fruit to start the flow of juice, and boil it rapidly, stirring all the time for 3 to 10 minutes, depending on the condition of the fruit. Juice for jelly making can be extracted from all berries and from many other fruits without adding water, and when done by this method has a richer flavor. Blackberries are an exception. Blackberries seem to yield better and more delicately flavored jelly if 1/4 to 1/2 cup of water is added to each pound of berries. When the fruit is cooked, pour it into a bag made of 2 or 3 layers of cheesecloth and let the juice drain off. As soon as the juice stops flowing, press the bag lightly 2 or 3 times, but do not squeeze it. If you squeeze the bag, bits of the crushed fruit will come through and make the jelly cloudy. When fruit is scarce, boil the drained fruit again with half its measure of water, from 8 to 10 minutes, and drain off the juice as before. This second extraction is likely to be fairly rich in pectin and rather poor in flavor, but combined with the first, it makes satisfactory jelly. For each cup of fruit juice, use 3/4 to 1 cup of sugar. Too much sugar in proportion to pectin may prevent the jelly from jellying or make it syrupy, while too little sugar in proportion to the pectin may result in tough jelly of poor flavor. With most berries, however, unless the fruit is overripe, the happy medium is not difficult to strike. For boiling down the juice and the sugar, use a large, flat-bottomed pan so that evaporation will boil rapidly until the sugar is dissolved. Then boil rapidly until the mixture sheets from the spoon. Remove from the fire at once and pour into low glasses, which have been washed and boiled for 20 minutes. Fill the glasses carefully and do not allow any jelly to drip on the inside edge near the rim. Cover the glass with a sheet of paper or a clean cloth to protect from dust. Let the jelly stand until it is firm. If the jelly does not set firmly the first day, do not be discouraged, but cover it well and put it in the sun for 3, 4, or maybe 5 days. Jelly that sets slowly is sometimes the best in texture. After the jelly has set, but not until then, cover each glass with paraffin, hot but not smoking. Rotate the glass while the paraffin hardens so that it forms a high rim. Adjust the tin tops of the glass, label with kind and date, and store in a cool, dry place. If you want more detailed information about making jelly, please write to me. By the way, here is an item which may interest you. Almost 500,000 copies of Farmer's Bulletin number 1471 on canning fruits and vegetables at home have been distributed during the last year. Think of that, practically 500,000 copies. The second most popular bulletin during the past year was the one on home baking. If you do not have these bulletins, you may get them free by writing to me or to the Department of Agriculture. That is, they are free as long as the supply lasts. Now, if you are ready for it, I'll broadcast a menu which is suitable for either lunch or supper. Asparagus custard, potato cakes, cornbread, and strawberries. Asparagus custard is a fine dish to serve if you are tired of asparagus served plain, or if you want to get more milk and eggs into your meal. 6 ingredients for asparagus custard: 1 pint milk, 2 cups raw asparagus cut in small pieces, 3 eggs, half teaspoon salt, 3 tablespoons butter, few drops Tabasco. 6 ingredients: 1 pint milk, 2 cups raw asparagus cut in small pieces, 3 eggs, half teaspoon salt, 3 tablespoons butter, few drops Tabasco. Cook the asparagus in a small amount of water until almost tender. Beat the eggs slightly, add the milk and seasoning, then add the cooked asparagus and the water in which it was cooked, if not more than 1/2 cup. Grease a casserole and pour in the mixture. Bake in a pan surrounded by water in a moderate oven until set in the center. Serve at once. Once more, the menu: asparagus custard, potato cakes, cornbread, and strawberries. Wait, just 1 minute. Wouldn't ice cream be good under those strawberries? 'Twould make a beautiful dessert, and we haven't had ice cream for ages. Let's make some and freeze it at home. I have a dandy recipe for French vanilla ice cream. It requires 6 ingredients too. The ingredients are 1 quart milk, 1/2 pint double cream, 4 eggs, 3/4 cup sugar, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1½ teaspoons vanilla. Let's check the 6 ingredients. 1 quart milk, 1/2 pint double cream, 4 eggs, 3/4 cup sugar, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1½ teaspoons vanilla. For custard by pouring some of the heated milk into the lightly beaten eggs. Then cook the milk and eggs with the sugar and salt in a double boiler until the custard coats the spoon. Cool, add the double cream and vanilla. Mix well and freeze. For the freezing mixture, use 1 part of salt to 4 to 6 parts of ice. Turn the crank slowly during freezing. That really is all, and I think the menu sounds lots nicer with the French vanilla ice cream.
This broadcast was researched and produced by Breakaway Empire LLC.